What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. With me, as always, my trusty guest host, Daven
Dave,
Estacado.
Daven El Cadejo Estacado here live here with the Saint. And we are hype here today. We have a very special show. We're going to break down some shows of what's going to go on this weekend. There's so much going on. But we also got some special guests. We should be having them on shortly. But before we go into that, Saint, you had quite an interesting last couple of days, man. I got to join you in some of that. So,
Well,
last night.
last night was fantastic. Had an excellent conversation with Brino Royce. Unfortunately, as of this morning, we received word the show for Friday, unfortunately, has been canceled due to weather. So, but here was the cool thing.
Okay.
Out of the tickets that were sold online, because see, a lot of the shows that are right here in the Spartanburg, Greenville, Charlotte, a lot of these, most of them aren't pre-order and sold out that way. They really aren't. A lot of them are, people walking up to the door, the old school method of ticket sales. Well, in this case, they had 52 tickets already sold for Friday.
Wow, nice, not bad. That's not bad.
Out of those, all 51 of them have been transitioned over to the next show being done by AWL. They just moved the ticket over. One person requested a refund on the ticket. One person.
That's not bad.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
That's not bad. So 51 people. The David Cody Memorial is nearly sold out already.
Wow.
Ringside is sold out. VIP is sold out. There is only general admission left on the David Cody Memorial. And that show is June 3rd. So that show is way out of here. Look at how much time we got to June.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's great though, if you think about it, man. Like,
yes,
you already got a packed house already, and
two months away,
and it's exciting.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
It shows general admission only available now. Jump in on that. So,
and
get your tickets while you can.
Yeah, they will be moving fast. They did announce some matches. I'm waiting for clarification of what all was fully announced, so that way I have it to properly lay out. I know that there was some stuff released earlier. You can find it on AWL. However, I always make sure with the promotion and with the promoter that everything is copacetic for me to talk about.
True.
Because occasionally it's, you can't talk about this yet. Well, then why did you give it to me? Don't give it to me yet. If you're not ready for it yet, don't give it to me yet. I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
It is hard to keep track when you've got this much going on.
True.
So many shows, so little time. And by the way, for anybody out there in La La Land, listen, I need a camera operator this weekend. So get at me direct in the messenger. If you want to work camera for me, I'll make sure to give you all the details. And if you're in my area, you ain't even got to drive. I'll pick your happy ass up on my way to the show. You ain't got to do shit. Get in the car,
it easy
go
for
to
you.
sleep.
That's the easiest payday ever. You get a ride to the venue too. You'd be missing out. Be a camera guy for a day.
It is 3.5 hours one way from the house. I'm not sweating it. This shit don't faze me. Let's go make money. Let's go have fun working shows. That's what I'm about. So, but yeah, it sucks. Friday was canceled. We're going to talk about this weekend. But before we get into anything else, one of our guests has arrived backstage. David, will you do the honors?
Sure I can do. Ladies and gentlemen, the head host of Ringside Square podcast and has her own book. She's the author as well, and she's also a fellow podcaster, Miss Marie Shadows. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, he completely butchered your podcast
I said
name.
That backwards. It's squared circle, not circle squared. I was
yeah.
For some reason, yeah.
It's not circle to the square power, right? I don't even know what that would be.
I thought it was like rings squared or something. I'm like, what did he say? I thought that's what he said. I was like, that's not who that is. That's not what the show is called. What are we talking about here?
But yeah, man, this is great. Great news I was hearing earlier about, the tickets being sold out, and it's usually kind of hard for promotions to get like sold out crowds sometimes. So that's like a win.
Yeah. It's a definite win. We see it out of a couple of companies down here. We do see it pretty often that they have packed houses or really do sell out.
Yeah.
But for a show to be that far away and it's already almost sold out, yeah, it's pretty spectacular. It's pretty special. Now, what area are you in?
I'm in New York City.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, you can keep a lot of the stuff that's up there.
Damn, dude.
I'm from the north as well, and there's a reason I came to the south. I live so much better here.
The cost of living. I don't blame you.
Eventually I want to like get out of New York City, but damn, man.
Hey, I do not mince words, ma'am.
I know you don't, but damn.
I am not a New Yorker. My father was, actually. So,
Cool.
But I think it was upstate. So that's like the country version of New York. So I don't know what that looks like. Is that what Urban Cowboy looks like? I don't know. Maybe.
I guess so. I mean, because in New York City, we're a lot more like grittier and we like tend to survive. So,
okay. Gotcha. But so the Squared Circle podcast, tell me about this.
So basically it's 4 years and counting. It went through like a period of like what exactly it is about, but I basically review wrestling shows such as New Japan Pro Wrestling. I used to do AEW. I would do Impact, MOW, and even WWE. And I even have some of my stories from when I was working there on my podcast as well. So it's basically me talking about wrestling and interviewing wrestlers. I can't hear him at all.
No, we lost him.
I hit the red button.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That's awesome. That's actually a solid show. That's pretty much essentially what I do on Sunday. Well, normally do on Sundays. Cover the televised products.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got to meet her at a show in Jersey for the Goddesses of War. We'll be talking to Kevin Asta about that later on. Looks like he'll probably be on later. He says we can wait till 9. That's up to you because we have Marie on the show. I mean, we have all the time, but at the moment,
look, let me show you what time means tonight.
Okay. Nothing?
There's no such thing as time tonight because I'm off tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm good to go. I mean, look, I'm in a recliner. It can't get any better than this for having a conversation. Wait, it can. It can. I need liquor and a cigar. But other than that, we're good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Sounds like fun. Yeah.
But no, there solves that. So we'll have Kevin on as soon as we're done with you. But that's where we met. Where he has this show. We met her. She actually got to meet Lorenzo, the llama, as well. It was good times. Good times.
It really was. It really was. Even our interview, looking back on it, was pretty cool to do it in the moment.
Yeah, like you said, you're not used to. You weren't like kind of. Was that like your first like in the moment, kind of like on the spot interview, if I remember correctly, or? Not
necessarily. Like doing vlogs again was kind of like I'm rusty at vlogs. But like if I feel a very good vibe, then we're gonna have a very good interview. I don't really just do random interviews on the spot like that because then I tend to overthink. But like if I have a good vibe with somebody, it's like, yo, we gotta do it right there and then.
Right. It also
it's more natural,
spontaneous. The spontaneity of it makes a lot more sense as well. And you if you can kind of play off each other and it's a hit, then it's awesome. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened that day. Yeah. exactly what
kind of
happened.
flowed. It was pretty easy, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Now, do you normally go to a lot of shows down in Jersey, or do you stay in New York? Because was that your first show coming down to a Titan
No, it
sponsored
was
show?
not. No, so like 4 years ago when I like wanted to do the Square Circle podcast, I basically was going to shows in New York City and New Jersey as well, and then that's when I first went to like Titan before they decided to do Goddesses. So like if I can make it, I will go because that's my whole entire thing. Is about giving my fans and my community the backstage like access, not like revealing everything, but being like, hey, I'm with this wrestler, I'm hanging out with this wrestler, and like let me get them on the vlog, let me do this, let me do that, just for them because I like traveling, I like being around wrestling. Like this is like totally in my blood and like my life. So like I have no problem like traveling unless it's like not unless with, but if I have money, so I do go to New York and New Jersey when I can.
Right.
Awesome.
And that makes sense. It's kind of on the same vein of what we do with working for these shows. We work for these
Mhm.
shows, and what we try to do in this light is we bring on talent or we bring on other people who are involved, and we want them to essentially market themselves here.
Yeah.
So, and it works out. I actually told this story the other day. About a year ago, yeah, about a year ago now, we were doing interviews. What we had built was we had basically built the storyline heading into MomoCon where David and I met. Now, what
Okay.
was funny was the one of the wrestlers had said, "Oh, I'm going to retire him. He's going to retire after I beat his ass." So that's what's
Okay.
going to happen. Would you believe that 3 different promoters who I don't know from Adam reached out to me directly, like, "Hey, man, is he really retiring? Like, how do I know? Like, I don't know that guy. Like, we're building a thing here. What are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on." And it was at that moment that I realized, oh God, they can't tell whether this is real or not. This is
Yeah.
perfect. This is where I need to be. So I love being right there on that line where they can't tell what is and what isn't supposed to happen. So they never know with me where we're
Mhm.
going or what we're doing. So everybody just kind of puts their hands up and they're along for the ride.
Yeah, I got that reaction on Thursday on Twitter because Thursday I would have been able to do this, but I was at MOW doing media press. So because I was there at the event live, there was I guess an injury with like Hammerstone, but I don't know the update. But like a fan really did like reply to one of my tweets saying, "Yo, is he okay? Is he injured?" And I was just like, I have no idea, dude. Like I don't even know. Like, I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything, But yeah, I've experienced that.
Right. Talking about Chris Hammerstone, right? Or
Alex Hammerstone.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Hammerstone. Okay.
Yeah, Chris
Big fan.
Hammerstone sounds mad weird.
It's a. I don't ask where that came from. I'm not sure. It is Alex Hammerstone.
Yeah.
I hope he's
I,
all right.
I haven't seen anything on that. So
Yeah, I hope he's all right too. But he got so like they had their match, and then like something happened during the match. It was because any type of war chamber match is dangerous anyway. So like tables involved, cage involved, weapons involved. Stuff happens.
right.
Well, that's the nature of the beast, yeah. Especially when you get involved in something like that, yeah. But that's what like controversy. I want to say controversy, but also like just
Concerning.
blurring the line. Yeah. Well, no, not
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's like kind of blurring
Oh.
the lines. It's kind of like you could tell you've been telling a good story, where like you can kind of that's sent. What's the word I'm looking for? You get drawn into the story, and the story kind of creates its own story from there. The
Yeah.
story just happens itself naturally after a while. It just happens, and it's great.
Well, we
Mhm.
saw it last week too.
Yeah.
We saw it last week right here in the Carolinas with that whole thing with Chase Emery and Rayhan. I can't pronounce his last name. Yeah, with
Yeah.
those two. I think it's Ignatius, but I don't know. Anyway, the way that the promos went, I mean, you had plain Jane sliced bread personality of Chase Emery, and then you had Rayhan being, Rayhan, and it was fantastic. And I was like, I've never been to one of their shows anyway. I've wanted to go down there for the last year. I've no better time than this for me to go and, gives me a chance to flip off Chase and gives me a chance to cheer on Rayhan. So, I'd never got to see Rayhan before, and I've never got to see Billy Brash before. So those were two people I had never seen, and I was like, this will be great. So it's, I walked in, sat in the back. I knew a handful of people there. A couple of people recognized me, and they were like, "What in the hell are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm just here. I'm as a fan. I'm not working. I'm here to see the show." I had my daughter, but it was the reality, and the lines were blurred to the point where even it's like, okay, I got to see this. I got to know what's going to happen. So I want to go. So
yeah,
it's good stuff.
Definitely.
So speaking of like blur lines, any chisme that you can get into, any hot chisme that you like kind of ran into during your stint here? Because you went from, you said you worked, well, doing another homework, we talked a little bit, you said you worked for WWE briefly.
Yeah.
Then you started doing the podcast, and then you just started going from show to show.
Yeah.
And have you found any chisme that you can give out, or ran into any funny chisme that you learned? Oh wait, really that happened? That in the process of kind of this transition, or like just going around your journey here.
I mean, there's always going to be chisme, you know that. There's always going to be that. But I will share the Bullet Club story that happened at WWE, which is like one of my favorite stories. So basically at WWE, what I was doing was I was part of the WWE network department. So basically for 8 hours a day in a cubicle, I will sit and watch WWE programming and make the SEO stronger. So whenever you guys search on WWE network, before it got turned to Peacock, if you want to search for like John Cena matches, they should show up. Like nothing out of the norm or what you're searching for should be there. So like I had to make sure that was okay. So now we had gotten into like, all of us together talking, and we were going over WCW and how like, the NWO was on our screen. So you had Hogan, you had Eric Bischoff, and they're all doing like the Too Sweet and stuff. And so, one person that's no longer there, he was basically like, this is the NWO. Like, they created, the Too Sweet and everything. One of my coworkers was like, oh, so that's where they got it from, meaning the Young Bucks. And I was like, what? Like, I really did say that, like, Kevin Nash like said it was okay for the Young Bucks to use it. Like they got their permission for it. And, the supervisor who's no longer there, basically turns to me and was like, you can't tell Marie anything because she's a Young Bucks fan. And I was like 2 seconds away from probably like saying something that I probably should have never said if it wasn't for my coworker. My coworker was like, Marie, don't say anything. Because I gave him the dagger eyes of like, bro, like it's online. You could definitely see that that Kevin Nash was like, yo, the Young Bucks are okay to use it. So there's that where I was just like, bro. Also, it didn't help that I brought that Young Bucks book bag, the one that says change the world or like the elite run the world, that book bag that you got in Hot Topic. I took that to work with me like every day at WWE. So like I guess I contribute to it, but yeah, man, like
I don't think that helped.
It didn't help, but they could hear the passion that I have, because I can tell you that like everyone that they hired was like, they got them off the street, like out the corner, like, hey, you like wrestling? Sure. You need a job? Sure. It felt like that, dude. Like I could tell you that like there was like 3 people, including me, that were like the smartest in that room. I was just like, man, where do you get these people from? Let's see. There's that one that I like that one. Oh, at the time that I got blessed with the one time that Matt Jackson showed up on WWE. I got blessed with that episode. So basically, it's a SmackDown. It's when Big Show was like trying to tell the WWE universe, like, "Hey guys, Cyber Tuesday is coming up, so you can like pick like whatever match you want for me to like be in this." And like, just so happens, Matt Jackson was there. And when I see him, I immediately like a tiny bit mark out, and I go to my other supervisor, and I was like, Matt Jackson is like on my screen, like in this episode, like, you know, what do I do? Do I put Matt Jackson inside the SEO thing? Like, what do I do? And he got like his eyes lit up, like, oh shit, Matt Jackson, that's awesome. Like he was marking out too, but then he had to keep it like professional, and he was just like, if I remember correctly, I think they told me to put Matt Jackson in there or not, but like he said he'll handle it after like I'm done with it. So like it was on him. But I don't remember if he told me to put it in there. But I can tell you for a fact that they did not want like the Young Bucks mentioned at all at WWE. Yeah. You know, another thing too was that like if you guys read the Young Bucks book and they have that chapter in there talking about how like Triple H gave them extra money to come to WWE the first time before they created AEW. Well, I was like the fly on the wall about like the extra thing because like all the supervisors, including the right hand man for Vince. I don't know if he's still the right hand man now, but you know, they were talking about how like Triple H wants them to watch both what was it, All Out, right? When Cody did it for 10,000 seats, it was All Out, right? Okay, so he wanted them to watch that and also watch New Japan Pro Wrestling because it was Wrestle Kingdom at the time, and this was at the time when like it was Tanahashi versus Kenny Omega. And then, you know, I'm just there sitting there and I'm like, are we allowed to talk about this? Am I allowed to listen to this? Like, what is going on? We're talking about like the competition and shit. So like, if you guys wonder why that chapter was created, it was because like Triple H watches everything. Triple H appreciates everything too. And he knows people's worth. So like, you know, there's that. I will say this though, that I do not regret a day that I was there. It's just that sometimes at that time in 2018, this is when I was working for them, management, like you could tell they were drinking the Kool-Aid. I was like, guys, you guys got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. But like, you know, if I was given the opportunity, I probably would go back and just work for like Triple H. But yeah, I don't regret any of my time there. Originally, I wanted to be a writer, but that was like a no. Even though I have a writing degree and a publishing certificate, like that was just not happening. But yeah.
It's still, all right, I remember when the network launched because I was working for the military at the time. Now, here's the funniest thing about this. When they tell you government employees were lazy, when it came to me, they weren't wrong. Because I used to get paid a lot of money to drive around a base or ride a piece of equipment. It's been so long now, I really don't care. I had to pave a landing zone. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it here. All I had to do was drive a roller across it. It is 1.25 miles long one way. This thing moves at 3 miles an hour.
Oh.
So, therefore, I would take my phone.
Yeah.
I rigged it into the stereo system inside the roller. I hung it from the visor. And I would just drive and watch WWE Network all day. I had nothing better to do. So I did that forever. I was on that landing strip for 3 weeks straight. That's all I did for 3 weeks straight.
Man.
Wow.
Hey, I don't care. It was great. I sat there and watched WWE Network for 3 weeks. It was awesome. Anyway.
Yeah.
Having the job that you had there would have been fantastic. But I do have one thing that needs to be fixed. You do realize the NWO didn't invent that.
I mean, I don't remember exactly where it came from, but I know the NWO took off with that. They took off with it, yes. It came from the Clique. It came from the Clique, which was Michaels, Hall, Pac. Okay, all right. So
all them. Yeah.
So basically, as you say that, I just grouped them all together. NWO.
Oh yeah.
That's what I did. But thanks for reminding me that like it was them, and then like it just my brain was like NWO, just all together.
Yeah,
it went all together.
Yeah, it went from the Click to the NWO to
Yeah,
the Young
yeah,
Bucks.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, they, good times. I don't know if you guys want to hear about like, my interaction with Jacob Fatu last Thursday, which was like really freaking awesome to me.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, we're interviewing you. You tell us
I
whatever the
guess,
hell
man.
you want to. I mean,
Unless you guys like have something, I'm usually used to like people having like an outline or whatever. But okay,
this show isn't like that.
All right, cool. All right, so like this like if you would have told me like a couple years ago if I would like interview Jacob like very quickly because during the media press for like MLW they're like very 5 to 10 minute videos and they're all going to be coming out soon and they're like all the videos I took were like really great. But with Jacob, before he was a heel in MLW and I was like, man, I'm afraid of this dude because like he played the heel like really, really well. Now, fast forward, he's a huge baby face and he's such like an amazing person. So like he gave us this awesome interview. He answered our questions. And later on the Rios channel, you guys will see Jacob Fatu versus who I like to call Johnny Everything. Because he's like Johnny Fusion, Johnny All Elite, like Johnny Everything, right? Yes. We nicknamed him right there and there, like Johnny Everything. So he has the match coming up. It'll be out on MLW. So the interview went fine, and then later on in the night of MLW, I went to go find my contact person, to be like, hey, are we doing like a post media scrum? Because we usually do that. Unfortunately, we couldn't because of the injury that took place. So as I'm just walking around, I didn't notice Jacob. I didn't notice Lance Anawai there too. They were at the merch table. So Jacob taps me on the arm and he's like, "You still here, sis?" And man, I had to bottle up all of my mark out like feelings like right here to play it cool. To play it cool. So like, as he taps me on the arm, I'm just like, yeah, I'm here because I'm working, right? It was just like the coolest experience to me because he didn't have to do that. And now I'm wondering, because he said, if you're still, you still here, sis? And he ended with sis. I'm thinking like, am I now an honorary oos? Like, I don't know, man. But that interaction was just like so fucking priceless to me. And like anything that like I've done, like wrestling related wise, and like everyone that I ever hanged out with, everyone that I ever talked to, wrestler wise, buddy wise, like that is like in my like top whatever moments, But yeah, that moment was like freaking special to me that night. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So is MLW still run by Court Bauer?
Yes.
Okay. I remember listening to Court Bauer and Stone Cold Steve Austin talk on Stone Cold's podcast. Those were fantastic episodes, and I always thought that Court Bauer was pretty entertaining when it came to that. I'm not a big fan of the website writing stuff that Court was involved with, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a Meltzer guy either, by any stretch of the imagination. You with a writing degree, was that? Now, there's a difference between writing and journalism, right?
Yeah.
So, writing, you can be as biased as you want. Journalism, you're not supposed to. And obviously, I think that's the part of ethics class that Meltzer missed. But that's just my opinion.
I love it. Yeah. But yeah, I got a creative writing degree because like all other subjects in school just like really wasn't for me. So like I wasn't really good at math. I wasn't good at like drawing or anything else, but like writing and reading like, stuck with me. So like even when I went to college, I remember the first time I stepped into college, they were like, yeah, we're going to give you liberal arts. And I was like, no, you're changing that to a creative writing degree. Like you're not giving me liberal arts. So I graduated with a bachelor's in creative writing and then got the publishing certificate. And then now I just like, publish things. Now I do.
I did mention that earlier. You have your own book. Tell us a little about it because we talked a little bit about it.
So basically, this is a wrestling planner made for podcasters, content creators, and wrestlers. So like, for example, it has like a very good welcome page. It has a table of contents. You get a monthly calendar. and like each of the calendars, like each of the calendar pages have like this little saying on the bottom that I put there to like, I guess, motivate people, because sometimes you can lose your way and you're like, damn, we could get all like in our heads and shit, like, right? So I have that. I have a section for writing down notes. So when you're at a show or you're at home watching your favorite wrestling show, you write down notes or whatever so that you can remember the stuff. If you have a podcast or you want to look back at the year and you're like, oh shit, I forgot about that. My favorite section is this one. Where's my favorite section? 7-star matches. This is my favorite section because I get to say that you could be your own Uncle Dave for one price and not a monthly price.
God, I hate the star ratings. You realize that, right? Oh my Lord. I make fun of it so bad because I feel like it's just ridiculous. And now so many people do it.
Yeah, so hear me out, right? You rather have a physical copy of like doing it yourself, right, and putting it online and keep it to yourself. So the more people that like were talking about it, I was like, oh, that might be a good section to put in here. And it's definitely like taken off. Like this has become a bestseller because I added the star section.
That's great. That's wonderful for that. I mean, if you have a spot, if you have one of those without it, send me the link and I'll buy that version from you.
I don't know, because I did tell people that this is going to be a yearly thing until like I can't do it anymore. But like next year, that has to be in there. Like it's really like a popular thing, because every time that I write down my matches, whatever I like, I post it on social media. The people who bought my book will show me their matches and how many stars they rated it. So like, yeah, it's a win-win situation.
You could almost create that into an app.
That's exactly what he was talking about me. Yeah, that's exactly what he mentioned.
Who mentioned?
Which this is why I want to like
really
ask more questions and like try to see what we could do, because there's a lot of things in the digital world that people don't really know how to do, and I want to learn how to do that. But yeah, this is available on Amazon, which is kind of like cool. And then
I even mentioned like if you take a picture of a match, you can attach it to the match.
Yeah.
Like app-wise, or even better, like there's like a section there she has for like writing down stuff that happened in the match. I'm like, you know what, this could be like an autograph book as well. You go to the matches, go to the matches, get an autograph, or even put like a scrapbook. It'd be like a wrestling scrapbook. Take your pictures are in there.
I thought it was in my office. Unfortunately, it's not. There's I've got some posters and a couple of autographs over here. So George South, everybody knows who George South is, right?
Yeah.
So Grandpa George sells goodie bags, and he sold one to my daughter. And I don't care. It's a little merch bag. It had a little smiley face on it. There was an old DVD from God knows when, but it had a book in it, and it was a Dave Meltzer book of all.
Oh my God.
Things. My daughter has got that Joker signed by like 50 or 75 people.
Oh, damn.
Every wrestling show she goes to, she's like, oh my Lord, she bothered me for 6 months for one person's Daven and Saint. She bothered me for 6 months to make sure that Jack's going to be there. I have to get Jackson's signature. I'm going with you, Dad. I don't care. I'm going with you. Okay, honey, come on. And, she finally got his autograph after, like I say, took her 6 months just to get his. But there's AEW stars signed it, because we've had AEW talent down here. Colby Carino's been here.
Great
Luca, dude, Colby is solid. Damn it, I can see him, can't think of his name. JD Drake, he signed her book, I think. I don't remember. I can't keep track of it, but she's got it, and that's like her thing. And it's a Dave Meltzer book is the only negative part of it. But other than that, it's cool as hell. She's got all those signatures in there. And she'll tell them, she's like, I don't care how much of the page you take up. Sign as big as you want. Here's a Sharpie.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So
I mean, I have like other ideas in the works for like other things to like publish. I wanted to do like a budget one for all the wrestlers out there, even podcasters, to keep track of just like financial stuff. But like, I need to find like the right template that'll flow and that'll be like right. What is that? Are those
stack of
coupons?
receipts. Those
Those
are
coupons?
receipts. Those
Oh,
are my receipts. This is
oh,
how I do my taxes. It's right here.
yeah, yeah,
My
Yeah, that'd be a
actually,
great idea. I'm like, you think about it. You could keep travel track of the mileage. You can keep
well,
track
yeah,
you
of
yeah,
make
yeah,
they
the
make an app
gas.
for that though. They make an app
Yeah,
that does that for you. But like my planner, that's what my planner does. I
yeah,
jot my mileage down in my planner, which is also, that's my date book for where I got to be, when I got to be there, and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff. All my mileage, all my food. If I need a new suit, or if I got to replace the bow tie, or I need a new pin, whatever. It's
yeah,
all
yeah,
everything's documented between there and the stack of receipts in front of me. So
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was really thinking about doing. Let's have it like sit down to like find the right templates, do what I want to do, put it up on Amazon. Aside from that, I do want to actually sit down and like really write out a wrestling fiction novel as well, because I've been touring around with that idea since like 2018, where it's like the genre is like a mystery mixed with like wrestling for it. But I start and then stop because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So that's one thing I want to publish. I still have not published my poems from back when I was a teenager that I want to do. And then, yeah, so like this time is more about me like publishing because I have all this stuff. And that's the one thing that like I want to get out now.
gotcha.
that was well. You kind of beat me to the question because I was going to ask, do you have any like projects or any upcoming things that you're working on? Any
Well,
other
I
upcoming
mean,
shows? Like,
I'm gonna be at Goddesses on May 20th. So I'll be there. So that's like a definite thing. As far as I'm working on, I'm trying to try out, kick streaming. I'm almost there to get affiliates. So I'm doing that. I'm doing the streaming stuff. But yeah, it's just mainly trying to get more fiction and nonfiction stuff out there. I tend to now take it one day at a time because before I was just like, this isn't working out for me. Like to try and get everything done, like, at once or even like very quickly. So yeah, just those. Nothing too like extravagant.
cool.
Still,
Well,
that is awesome.
Thank
yeah,
you, man.
that's great. It's inspiring. You're literally putting yourself out there, putting your work out there, and kind of really putting your heart and soul in this. You could tell that you're really passionate about it and you love it and you're into it, and that you can just when you're talking about it, you can see that smile on your face. Like, yeah, you really do love it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I got like for the whole wrestling part, I got into it because my dad got me into it. So like it started from him, and then it just continued on, and just me yelling at the top of my lungs saying I'm going to go to WWE, and I did that, and that's like that part is a little bit over, even though the goal is to get to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So like I would love to work for New Japan Pro Wrestling, like I just would. But other than that, like phase two is publishing the stuff because like I'm getting a little bit older and it's like I need that to be another accomplishment as well. So like,
Right. Now, you keep saying, this was goal and this is goal, and you got these other things, these other aspirations. What are you doing? What are you doing full time at this point?
content creation.
Okay, so you're a full-time content creator.
I am a full-time content creator. This is what I put all my energy into to try to make sure that I have my podcast is coming out, interviews lined up with wrestlers, sell more of these just because, and basically work on my newsletter, and work on streaming and talking about indie wrestler matches on Tape Study Tuesdays. Like it's all content creation because that's what I fell in love with.
Awesome. So you survive off of your content creation.
I'm trying to survive.
Oh, okay.
I put all my eggs in one basket, and I'm just trying to survive with little tiny like passive incomes here and there, just to try to make something.
Right. And well, no, it's admirable. It's very admirable because it takes a lot to do this stuff, and people don't realize, the subscription for the podcast or the subscription for the StreamYard, and you know, the more stuff you put out there, the more you have to, you have to spend. It takes
Mhm.
money
Yeah,
to make
it's
money.
it's not easy. Yeah, you have to buy the equipment. There's, the mics, the camera, the lights, the
Oh yeah,
subscription for the streaming itself.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, dude, I'm absolutely dreading replacing my computer. I am legit
Uh,
100% dreading replacing this thing. This dinosaur right here has been rocking hard since about
mhm.
2009, and I don't.
Damn.
I've
That's old. Yeah.
wow.
dude, I've been through 5 power supplies. It's on its second processor and third video card.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
This thing is
lasting.
that thing
It's
has been a
lasting.
tank. But now
Hmm.
I can't keep power supplies in it anymore. It's like I'm buying high end power supplies. I'm burning them in a year because the new power supplies are built for the new components, and I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
rocking some old school stuff. So
yeah.
Hmm.
it's just not it's not built for that. I know what I'm gonna do with it now. I know what I'm gonna do with this machine when I get done.
Yeah, I
But
had to invest into a tower myself. I even got a server for it. So, once
Oh.
I get everything going, I think that'll kind of help out with the longevity there. So
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got a Switch in the closet, not a Nintendo, a Switch in the I sometimes we're based I'm based in the Carolinas. I got to explain things a little bit extra. But
He's not
I've got
wrong.
I've got a Switch in this closet right here that you can't see. It's behind this desk. Um
Yeah.
and that's to have I've got the whole home networked. So it doesn't
Hmm.
matter where I'm at or who somebody comes over, they need internet or they want, something I have, I can shove it through my network right to them. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't play with, I hate cloud. That has got to be the biggest pain in the butt to do anything with is using a
Yeah.
cloud based server. No, give me that hard data. Let's go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we can move massive amounts of files.
Well, if you guys want to know, I'm using a laptop for like all of my stuff, including this.
I got one of those in there's a that I have one that I travel with. It's over there.
Okay.
If I need
Same.
to do, if I need to do this on the road, I have that.
Yeah.
But when I'm sitting in my recliner
Yeah.
with this setup, yeah, no,
Yeah.
No,
I'm not
yeah,
about that life.
my new setup is just something that recently bought, but I usually carry my laptop. I usually carry my HD cam with me, which is great because it doubles as a mic as well. So it's like a mic
Yeah. Yeah.
ring light camera thing.
Hmm.
So that's pretty convenient. Yeah, it's pick a laptop, take it with me on the road, and we're good to go. We're live, baby.
I'm actually going to show you what this looks like. Um,
It looks like
most
that robot from Short Circuit, doesn't it?
most of
Johnny
it.
Five alive.
Hold on, hold
That
on, hold
movie.
on, hold on.
That's a really fun movie.
Maybe just a little bit. We're gonna mute for sure because I don't need it. I don't need the echo. Oh, there it is. Got rid of that. Um, nah. When I built this thing, I built this
Uh-huh.
while I was hurt. Dude,
Whoa.
really? Come on.
Saintception. Look at that.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
How in the hell do you? Hold on. See, I wasn't ready for this, and you did this. Thanks.
I'm being useful.
Yeah, you're being used. So
Oh, okay.
I built it like this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's the my desk is a mess right now, and there's this tower, but I built it so it's actually overhanging from me. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if you look at this camera, you can see it's above me. That's because of, like I said, remove this, get this out of here. Pack
You
her head.
basically have the gamer setup.
Yes,
You got the gamer setup.
I
That's
had
pretty
to.
dope.
I had to set that up back then when I got hurt. This is how this is where I sat for 9 months. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed to be comfortable and support my
Yeah.
neck. So that was what I did, was design this desk that way. So that way everything worked and it was easy to manage. Now with age, this dinosaur's about had it. They don't make that fossil fuel no more for that thing.
So speaking
Not
about the
really.
podcast, speaking about your setup, is there
Mhm.
anybody you interview that you really enjoyed? Like, what was like the best interview you've had so far? And to follow up, what was the worst?
Um, aside from yours was fun. Like that was really fun to do. But my first
Cause,
ever
no,
interview was with Aaron Henare of the United Empire, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. His interview was really fun. And that's because, we talked for a while and we developed a friendship. So like his interview was fun. Clark Connor's interview was fun as well too, part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. As for the worst, I wouldn't say it was the worst. It was just too much in character, uh, which was damn. I don't even know if I want to drop his name. I don't know if he's going to be upset, but it was a little too much in character. Which was, I'm just gonna probably say Adams. It every single person I talk about is in my playlist on Spotify that has like all the interviews, but like his was a little too much in character. I appreciate him because I know who he is and I hung out with him before, but it was just a little too much in character. But yeah.
Adams.
I'm just look, man, it's
she's
over
just
there.
hey, she dropped some cheese, man. We'll follow up later. Just follow it on her
Oh,
Spotify.
okay. Okay.
Just listen to the Spotify. We're fine.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I created a playlist on Spotify that has all of my interviews, which they're all in video format. So you guys can watch it there. Spotify now supports video.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait a minute.
Nice.
Well, that just told me what I needed to change.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I've been knowing this for a while that like they have video now. So you guys could like watch it on the go rather than like listening to it.
Well, I mean, this is broadcast live right now between Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and the XWW network, where we took over their Roku TV channel.
Cool.
When I click the live button, this thing takes over. So
yeah,
that's all. That's all because of XWW, because they wanted more podcast and live creation stuff on their network. So what we did was they were like, "Hey, you can use our platform, no problem, sure, anytime." They were like, "Yep."
What that does, that gives us more reach. That gives you, people come on more reach. You just got more fans because of it.
Yeah,
and content.
And content.
Yeah, and content.
Well, that's the point. It's all about creating content. So
it is. Yeah, definitely. It really is.
But
really
fantastic.
Anything
else you want to plug in?
Yes. Do me a favor though, before you do that, either send me or Daven all the social media links for you, and what we'll do is we'll drop them in the comments section right here, so that way everybody has them.
Oh, all right, cool. So I could do that with that.
You have a link tree?
Yeah.
Those are great.
I mean, yeah, I have a link tree. I could do that too. All right, because now my brain is like thinking 1,000 things per second of like, what the hell do I do and blah blah blah. Or I could give you my Canva site. If you guys didn't know that Canva could create you a free website without like any additional charge. You get like 5 to use, and Canva is the thing that I've been using for forever to make my like visuals and graphics, even though I really don't do graphic design like that. But Canva here has, why did I do that? Okay. I gave you the thing in the chat so that we could promote that over there. But if what do you see it?
Oh yeah, here, watch. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to drop it in the comment section, and all the different places that this show is streaming to just got the link dropped on them.
Yeah, so
7 channels just got it.
Cool, that's fantastic. I think my brain is like, oh my god, 7 channels. All right, awesome.
Okay, 6.
But yeah,
one of them had an error.
It's still
doesn't make a difference. Promotion is promotion, right? Like you know that saying that like a win is a win is a win. I guess a promotion is a promotion is a promotion. I don't know. I'm just being
a gig
very
is a
clever.
gig is a gig.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't tell my dad joke again for the gig.
I mean, you could. I didn't hear it. I know David probably heard it a million times, but I haven't heard it.
3 times.
No,
Oh.
just last week. He just heard it last week or a couple weeks
Oh.
ago. There was this tag team called 999 Megabytes. They haven't gotten a gig yet.
Okay. Okay.
I told you it was a dad joke.
Terrible.
I told you it was
mean,
a dad joke.
I mean, be happy it wasn't like 99 red balloons. Like he didn't try to incorporate
Oh,
that
thank
into
God. Yeah, no, that's not. You won't hear that shit from me.
Our guest here, our second guest is on. I got 99 gigs and your dad joke ain't one. I love it. Thank
Yes,
that.
there we go. That's
Kevin.
awesome.
All right,
is
I'm
great.
gonna. All right, I'm gonna put myself over so that way Kevin could come in next. I guess, right? Is that what we're doing? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So this was fantastic. This was fun. I got to talk wrestling for a little bit on a Thursday. So again, I'm Marie Shadows, host of the Square Circle podcast and writer to the Square Circle Society over at Substack. You guys could find me everywhere with that link of my, to my Canvas site. But if you really want like where I'm at, follow me on Twitter at Marie_Shadows. Follow my newsletter, marieshadows.substack.com. Follow my Patreon, patreon.com/Square Circle Society, where it's built for you guys, the wrestling fandom. And I have my wrestling reactions on there, especially towards women's wrestling. And I give you more insight on women's wrestling and wrestling in general. Also, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows and kick.com/Marie Shadows. I'm trying to grow my empire, my community, and try and take you guys with me on the go. That's basically about it.
Fantastic.
I'm going to be sending you a link because I think she would fit real well in the roundtable.
I think
that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. The Roundtable Rumble is a fun show with a bunch of podcasters. We all come together and talk, but we mainly do it when it comes to bigger televised products or Mania.
So I didn't want to announce it. Kevin announced it already.
Wow,
I was gonna make it bigger.
Dropping bombs.
Yeah, man, he just dropped the bomb, Kevin. I was gonna announce it next month. But yes, okay. Now that the news is out, thank you, Kevin. May 20th, I will be a color commentator for Goddesses of War Wrestling, which I am super excited about. Super excited about. And I just want to say thank you, Kevin, for that opportunity. But yeah, I was gonna announce it, a little bit later.
Hold on, one moment. Kevin, what are you doing?
Whoops. Sorry.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
I didn't know we were having a big reveal party. I'm sorry.
I didn't know it was happening either.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, all 6 channels, know it now, and then like my people didn't know yet. But yeah.
Well, if you share it, then your people will know it vicariously.
I know, right?
There we go.
Oh my God.
If you need it, tell me and I'll send you this file. I'll send you the video clip from here and you can have it.
Did he mute himself?
Did I? No,
it's my damn, I charge these things and then they like totally disconnected.
Okay, so see, it wasn't my fault.
Oh, what?
It was not my fault.
No, we can still hear you. I
hate these headsets because now it reconnected.
Awesome.
But then I hear music, so I don't know what's happening. Who's
playing music? Dude, that's how my brain feels sometimes. I got all these tabs open. I have no idea where the music's coming from, and it's just slow and laggy.
Yeah, same.
But no, like I say, if she shares it and if she needs this video, she can let me know. I'll send her the video.
Yeah, we'll send it to you.
I fixed the music problem. Technology. Like, it's telling me to like leave so Kevin can have the spotlight. Like, technology, man. Technology.
Gotcha. But like I said, I can actually send you this full clip, the full video, and you can do with it what you please. So,
make some extra content.
I guess, man. I don't know. I'll let you know. If anything, I'll let David know if I need anything. But yeah, I'll still reveal it and be like, yeah, I'm on color commentary, which is freaking fantastic.
Awesome.
We'll have an official poster too, so you'll have something fancy to show.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
So I can make like a whole post about it, send it out to my newsletter crew and stuff like that.
Hey, it ain't
Awesome.
worth doing it unless it's done right.
Exactly.
That's true.
Rather than dropping the bomb.
Well, this
That's
place
what this
is.
show's for. It's known for that at this point.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's totally okay.
I know we get random promoters just be like, oh, by the way, I need to tell you what the main event is, or I need to tell you what this is, and they'll reveal it here before they've even unleashed a poster. So
It happens
It's
a lot.
fu-
It's fun though. It's fun.
it's fun.
Yeah.
We get the inside track on a lot of things, so it works out. It's fun
All
for
right,
the
guys.
viewers, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fans love it.
Probably is.
Well,
All right,
we
guys.
appreciate you, Marie. Thank you.
Thank
so
you very
much
much for joining us.
And you'll be hearing.
Of course,
from us soon.
guys. Yeah, of course. All right. Enjoy, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Kevin. Welcome,
Mr. Nesta. How are you?
What's up? I'm sorry. I had to finish watching NCIS before I jumped on this call. I got to keep up. I got to keep up to date with my programming.
NCIS is still live. Like that's
Yeah.
still. No, I mean like they still do new episodes.
Yeah. NCIS, NCIS California, which Los Angeles is in their last season, and then NCIS Hawaii is in their second season.
I didn't even know there was a Hawaii.
Is Mark Harmon still there?
Mark Harmon is the producer on the show. He's no longer the main character. He was replaced, but it's still good. The only original agent on the show is McGee. Everybody else is different.
Okay.
I didn't know you were into that. Learn new things about you every time I talk to you, Kevin.
Oh, dude, that's all I watch. Law and Order, SVU, Organized Crime, NCIS, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire. I like anything where I'm sitting there for a period of time that it stimulates my brain and forces me to kind of solve the riddle amongst the show before it's over. Than kind of just sitting there as a brainless zombie watching rom-coms or something.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's kind of like trying to figure out, if you're watching Scream, you're trying to figure out who the killer is, or if you're watching Saw, what's going to happen next, or.
Yeah, I'm a big horror guy, so I mean,
that's why I made that reference.
Yeah, I see it.
I mean, look, the one thing I like about Friday the 13th compared to some of the other slasher type movies outside of Halloween is that Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees don't say anything, so there's no corny one-liners from the villain.
Right.
True. Well, unless you count Freddy versus Jason.
There was no. He still didn't say anything.
No, but yeah, Freddy did. Once he said the one-liners, that's the first movie that comes to mind. When it comes to one-liners.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about, this wasn't bad at all. Really wasn't.
It was pretty good.
I have not seen the new one. As soon as I saw that it was New York City themed, it automatically brought me back to a nightmare of Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes.
And, I still wake up in the middle of the night picturing him drowning in the sewage at night, in the sewer, just dying. That was such a bad movie. It was not as bad as Jason X, but it was close.
I like Jason X. I think Jason X was better than that one.
Jason X was.
Somebody's trying to call you on Skype some kind of bad.
Yeah, some kind of disconnect. Just shut up. But yeah, if I don't answer the first time, that doesn't mean keep trying.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, sorry. I mean,
just
look,
Facebook.
People, you're terrible. I Facebook message you, and like 72 hours later, he's like, "Hey, I didn't see this."
No, that's because this man messages you at like midnight, 1:00 in the morning.
You're not working still? What's the matter with you?
Surprisingly, no.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's when I do all my work. I work from home. I get most of my work done between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. I mean, I pre-write all my emails, schedule them all for like 9 a.m. delivery. I get all that stuff done. All my social media posts get done in the middle of the night because the algorithms say that when people wake up, first thing they do is check social media, and all your posts will be there first thing in the morning,
True.
compared to the middle of the afternoon where everybody's on. So your posts will just get kicked down the feed, and half the audience won't even see them.
Huh.
Yeah. There's one thing he knows is his social media.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean we're in that age and demographic where you've got to be doing social media to make a difference on pretty much anything else you're doing outside of it.
True.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm born in that generation where I was caught in between no such thing as computers and learning computers, and then MySpace, and you know, a lot of these kind of millennials and no offense, Generation Z. They kind of grew up in the social media computer era, so that's the only thing they know is gaming and social media and things like that. They don't know anything else. They don't know about pounding the pavement and going out there and filling out paper applications or jobs. They don't know about walking around stores and taping wrestling posters to the window. Like, they don't know this stuff. It's all about copy, paste, and post.
Yes and no. I'm that weird where like I actually saw the technology change. Like I remember working on these old floppy disk computers where it was literally a floppy disk. And then it evolved into a hard disk and then CDs. Like it was weird transitioning from one technology to another. Literally watch it grow as I grew up. And then the age of the internet just kind of took over. It was crazy. And kind of see it
It's
evolve
only
to the
going
way
to
it
get
is
worse.
now. Yeah.
It's only going to get worse, even though they'll say it's going to get better. It's only going to get worse. It's just going to make us more reliant on technology, where we're literally. I mean, what are we going to be able to do as humans? What are we going to be able to rely on? We're going to have cars that drive ourselves. We're going to have things that are going to basically cook for us without any, we not even have to do anything. Press a
It,
button on
it,
our phone. It's going to drop the food into the air fryer. It's going to cook. I mean, the only thing we're going to have to do is eat it. I mean, the
you know what it
Jetsons,
sounds
they
like?
ate food in pill form.
It sounds like it's like the Wally version of Earth, future Earth.
Yeah, it's kind of like Back to the Future with the pizza. Remember, it was like a little
Yeah,
disc, and they put it in the food
yeah.
hydrator. And it was like poof. I mean, that's going to be us soon.
It'd be great for my storage space, but other than that, I'm sure it can't be healthy.
So
No.
you're a horror nerd. Clearly, you're into movies as well, horror movies. But besides being a wrestling promoter, you're into a bunch of other stuff. You have your hand in a lot. Anything else that like that you do? Like me, clearly you're constantly hustling. That's one of my big one of a lot of things that I respect and admire at you. Like you are constantly on the hustle. Um, what else do you do? Like what else are you into?
One thing I always, you'll see me post a lot on social media. I'm always like, if you're not moving forward, you're standing still. And then if you're standing still, people are passing you by, and I'm not um, in an industry where I can allow to be standing still and let people pass by me. I have to continue to innovate, do new things, and introduce new methods and ways into getting my brand out there, getting my name out there, and also people that are promoting get their names out there, because it's not always about who Damage 365 Promotions brings into conventions. It's about who is Damage 365 Promotions pushing to the forefront for promotional purposes, like back in the day, Thunder Rosa. Nobody knew who she was. We brought her to the East Coast. We basically threw her at every convention possible in the Northeast, and obviously her career done very well. Um, Deanna Perrazzo, Jordan Grace, Tasha Steeles, Nyla Rose. I mean, There's a laundry list of them that took a chance on us, and we took a chance on them, and it's paid off. And that's what we're always trying to do. I mean, now you see a lot of promoters out there now are starting to bring in a lot of independent talent to wrestling shows, because they saw the success that we've had in the last 11 years. And, they say the best form of flattery is imitation. Yes and no. It is irritating sometimes when people copy everything you do, and firsthand, because I was like the first one to go out there and put out custom trading cards, man. I mean, if you didn't have a trading card, I was making you a trading card. I was, we were collecting information, putting it together. You were designing them. You were having someone print them. Now I have someone print them, and you're still designing them. Now everybody's doing it. So it's even the wrestlers themselves are doing it. I mean, I've referred plenty of people to you to get the stuff like that done because to me it's like, all right, it's more revenue. It gives you a chance to make more money. I mean, what's it going to cost you? A couple bucks now. You sell a couple of them, you paid off the order, and everything else is 100% profit. So, you know, as far as like wrestling is concerned, I have D365. I run book and promote for Goddesses of War Wrestling. I'm also a sci-fi geek. I love Star Trek and anything that has to do with Star Wars. I'm a collector of Macho Man Randy Savage stuff, Friday the 13th, anything that's Thor. I'm a big geek for Greek mythology, as you couldn't tell by the Goddesses of War program. Um, yeah, not that I have my hands in a lot of moving parts because I just don't have the time, but anything that I get involved in, I give 100% because I don't want to be that guy that's be like, oh, he started it but gave a half-ass effort and then, ran out on it. So I always try to make sure that if I'm going to get involved in anything, if it's 100% me or even if I'm just helping somebody out, I'm all in all the time.
Man, if you're so Goddesses of Wars, I'm taking that's all female talent on that show.
Mhm.
It's an all female show, period, not just talent. As you spoke to Marie earlier, she's podcast coverage as well as doing some color commentary. But our broadcasters are all female. Our ring announcer, our referees, our podcasters, our backstage correspondent, our agents, all female, and obviously all our talent in there.
Wow, that is awesome, man. Have I got a list of names that I need to run by you? Because I know some serious female talent down here in the Carolinas region. So
Well, we're also going to be down there very soon too. Titan Championship Wrestling partnered with the Goddesses of War. We're going to be down in Ellerbe, North Carolina. We're doing a great event. I don't want to give too much information out because we haven't announced it yet, but we're going to be running an all-day fan fest festival and wrestling show in Ellerbe, and we're going to be partnering with Tracy Myers from WrestleCade and his wrestling company.
yeah,
So,
AWL
you know,
or
Mhm.
AML,
yeah,
AML.
AML.
Yes.
AML, yeah. So we're branching out because technically the owner of Billy Fetsky, the owner of Titan Championship Wrestling, he lives in North Carolina. So he wanted to branch out to a Titan brand down there, but um, he didn't want to do it this soon. But with this opportunity that came up, we couldn't pass up on it, and so it's going to kind of open the door a little bit quicker for us now. And we're moving. Titan Enterprises is a tremendous thing. It's giving everybody a lot more opportunity to perform in front of large crowds. They have the Chosen Wrestling, which is basically like a developmental brand that's run actually by the wrestlers. They're handling everything, and then when they feel that those talents are ready to move on, they move on to Titan Championship Wrestling, they move on to Funhouse Wrestling, they move on to Goddess War Wrestling. They also have their ring rental part of the company, where they're providing ring rentals for multiple independent companies all over the United States. And now in North Carolina, we're working on some big things for New York City. So there's a lot of moving parts, and there's going to be a lot of big things and announcements coming out of the Titan office. And I'm blessed to be on that ride and to be a part of it and be a part of the Titan family. And it literally all started with a sit down conversation in my dining room with the three partners about just me going to them and saying, hey, and it was kind of tongue in cheek, but I was just like, hey, you know, are you guys going to do anything more with Goddesses? The pandemic happened. They did 4 shows. Pandemic happened, and I was like, are you going to do anything else? And they were like, we were thinking about it. I was like, do you mind if I, grab the reins and run with it? And they just all looked at each other and they're like, absolutely. Like, we know what you've done. We see what you do, and yeah, I mean,
You've done
you
a
were at
fantastic job, man. Like,
you were at the last show, the
yeah,
relaunch show, the D365 Cup. We had the 2-hour fan fest that was catered to all the talent. To make a little extra money during instead of during the show. to do it prior to the show when they're comfortable and relaxed, not a little sweaty and waiting on their next match. We had a food truck there was supplying artisan handmade pizzas, and it was a good time, and the show was a nice, timely show, less than 3 hours, smooth. No, we had no hiccups and no injuries, no nothing. We crowned an undisputed women's champion, and yeah, and then May 20th, as I said before, our next show, which is Wrath of the Goddesses, and we're very excited to head into the Highline Arena in Aberdeen, New Jersey, a very big venue, double show. Goddesses of War goes first with Wrath of the Goddesses, and then Rise of the Titans is an hour after gate closes. So it's like I said, a lot of big things happening. Very exciting time to be part of Titan and to be a fan of Titan, and I'm looking forward to lots of things. This being one of them. Looking forward to coming up some more card designs for some talent. I made it a mission not to wait to the last minute to make those requests. I'm working on it. So,
yeah, that's also it's actually a shout out at me too, because I do take a bit to try to get it back to you. But I love making them for you, man. Like you give me the idea, you tell me what you want, and if I can't make it, I get like a general outline of a template, and I have somebody else help me with it too. But like it's just such a fun thing to kind of put together. Like it's like a puzzle piece, put in like, what color am I gonna do?
The Goddesses of War set for that was a huge hit. We did a 50 set run, which I gave one set to every girl on the show, which was 18. I gave one of the sets to with the ECW guy. His wife was there selling merch. What was his name?
I see. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Balls Mahoney's wife. I gave her a set.
Oh, okay.
We also gave a set to all the staff, because we had made a staff card with all the staff members that were on one card, so they all got one. So that was 30 right there. We sold about 7 or 8 at the show. I had people hitting card collectors on Twitter. They hit me up left and right. We ran another run of 10 more cards, and they were sold before I even got the damn order from the print shop. So
wow.
It was that's why I told you to take the one you had when I handed it to you. I was like,
yeah, he literally just like, here, take this. Just shoved it into my chest. I'm like, all right, cool.
There was no way, because I just know. Look, card collecting is a hobby. It's a very small community, but they're very passionate. And if they know it's a limited run of something, in this case, 60, they're going to take it. Because they know, regardless of what they have, it's a 1 of 60. And, it's not going to be something that's going to be flooding the internet and resold and resold and resold and resold over and over and over again.
No.
They know they got something that's precious and limited.
Yeah, it's unique, it's special, and it's limited. And you could tell there was a lot of heart put into it. Not that I'm tooting my own horn, but like working with Kevin, like he knows what he likes. So he told me what he wanted. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's work with this Greek goddess thing, and it worked. It came out beautiful. It really did.
The other thought process here is this, and this would be from my perspective, right? I'm not a card collector. However, me and my brain saying, hey, these talents are more than likely going to continue to grow and prosper and do great things. You probably have. Oh, wow. Yeah, man, that is fantastic.
That was the front. The back signify the event.
Okay.
We did 18 cards, which was the 18 talents that were on the show, and then we did a staff card, and then we also included a checklist.
Right.
20 cards total. They were beautiful.
My thought process is this: out of those 18 women, how many of them are going to appear on television and eventually maybe even become Hall of Famers 20, 30 years from now? Imagine what an indie card, looking at a rookie card, imagine an indie card of a Charlotte Flair. Think about that. So that's my thought process. on it. I
Well,
think it's a fantastic idea.
To your point, Florida Championship Wrestling (FCW) that ran as the developmental of WWE before OVW and before NXT.
Right.
They ran 2 series of cards that had Roman Reigns before he was Roman Reigns. They had Seth Rollins, they had Brad Maddox, they had Saraya. They had all them. Those cards, even the least popular, let's say like a Brad Maddox, that card still goes for about $250.
Right.
So that's to your point. I mean, this is, if any of these girls, let's say, Riley Shepard, if Riley Shepard ever goes to AEW or does anything on TV, this is officially her rookie card, regardless of what
Yeah.
AEW puts out there.
Right. Name change and all. I mean,
Yep.
that is definitely cool. We did have a comment. Somebody chimed in. Thomas Scott chimed in. He's a promoter in North Carolina as well. Runs Pro Wrestling Savage and Titan Wrestling Southside. Not Titan Enterprises, different company. Well, I just wanted to clarify that. We know.
What were the?
But,
yeah.
yeah. What are the odds of that? Right.
So that, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I love that you do the convention game, man. Like I see you at conventions like all the time. I got to tell you, there's a buddy I know who does conventions up in your area. You should probably check out his stuff. Monster Mania is coming back up to Philly. I'll put a word in for you. It's like, hey, help a vendor spot here because I think that'll really do well there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I acquired about Monster Mania back in 2000. Let's say 2018 or 19. It was. I love how now everything's either pre-COVID or post-COVID, but it was pre-COVID. That's the only thing. That's the only way I can remember shit now. So
it was the before times.
It was the before time. When we used to enjoy going places. Yeah. So when we used to like people. So yeah.
I never liked people. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was just trying to be nice. I'm supposed to be,
You nice?
Look, despite my face persona and my my reputation, I am the easiest person to get along with. The problem is that if you screw me, I am not the easiest person to be around if you're that person. So I will literally give you my left arm to help you if that's what you needed. But if you take advantage of that, not only am I going to take my left arm back, but I'm going to slap you in the face with it and shove it up your ass. So I don't have time for carny bullshit. I don't have time for backstabbing and sabotaging. I don't have time for people trying to drag me down. I've been doing the wrestling scene for 11 years now, and I put too much into it to be where I am now, where I can actually do this full time. Like I said, I work from home. I do this all year round. I travel all over the country. Sometimes anywhere from 8 to 10 states a year. 40,000 miles on my car. Another God knows how many miles in the air. So I didn't work this hard for people to just sit on their living room couch with their keyboard and talk smack. So my persona sometimes on social media, I come off very harsh, but if I do, it's usually because my defense mechanism has been triggered.
Yeah, like I noticed, like it's like somebody's like poking the bear with Kevin again, and then like you mentioned to me, and I'm like, all right, yeah, he has a point, and then like you reach out to me, like, hey, if this guy reaches out to you, this is up. Like you always, and I do respect that you always let me know, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah, and I never try to take money out of anybody's pocket. I let everybody make their own decisions, or everybody's a grown adult. You put your big boy pants on in the morning. Girls put their big girl pants on in the morning. If I have a problem with somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that you might have a problem with that person, but I always give people a heads up so they could put themselves kind of like on the defensive little and, just to be careful. I mean, like I said, I get along with a lot of people that some people don't, and a lot of people get along with some people that I can't stand, and that's just life.
Right. And that's a fantastic quality to have, though. the ability to be able to get along with people that the general consensus is nobody likes them, or nobody can stand them, or they've been screwed over by them. That's not an insult to you, because that just means you're intelligent enough to handle it without getting screwed over.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
And this fantasy that people make up that, promoters and vendors can't get along and stuff like this, that those are all spread by the people who nobody gets along with. And that's the problem. That's their defense.
Mm.
Is that, this person's an asshole, that person's an asshole, I can't work with them, I can't work with them, but everybody else is fine. Usually, little by little, you can even as a casual fan, you can weed out the ones that everybody seems to have a problem with and why. I just had a talk with one of the vendors today that actually lives minutes from me, and I said, back in 2012 when I started this, I had a large circle of like 15 to 18 people that I had in that circle, and I said, we're going on 2023 now, and I have maybe 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Shrunk down that hard.
Yeah. I mean,
It does, COVID in that COVID time, the COVID times, that brought a lot of the worst out of people. I mean, you saw a lot of fighting and arguing and shit talking and sabotaging going on because everybody was trying to make money while they were home, and there was just a lot of ugly that went on, and a lot of people came out of COVID when everything opened and everything started getting back to regular. Some of those people never recovered from that, and they still don't talk. And unfortunately, times like that brings the ugly out of people. Sometimes it unifies people. Like I grew up in Staten Island, New York. I kind of lived, I lived through 9/11. And within, I would say, like from September 12th for another 30 days, there wasn't a single bit of angry from people anywhere. Everybody was polite and humane and loved each other and blah, blah, blah. By the time Christmas got there, everybody was right back to being miserable again. So, I mean, it's unfortunately sometimes that happens, but the COVID, that brought the worst, the absolute worst out of people, especially in the wrestling industry.
Well, I mean, a lot of people. I didn't have the general COVID experience that a lot of other places did, because my job was considered essential. So I was still walking in and out of buildings and houses and interacting with people just like I had every other day for the last 15 years before that. So it didn't change anything on me, except for the fact that it took indie wrestling out. It did do that. It canceled some local indie shows that I was slated to work. So, but beyond that, pre-COVID, post-COVID, we could also call it the Tiger King era for all I care, because that's essentially what we got out of it. We got a really bad glimpse at some messed up shit that occurred, with that. I think that was about it.
Yeah.
There was the COVID virus and the Tiger King. Carol fucking Baskin.
I mean, I can even go a little bit further than that, and I can say that, everything was fine until everybody started bitching about the Popeye's chicken sandwich and how great it was and the lines it was causing, and all you millennials with your freaking spiked seltzer. I mean, that's what it was.
Oh god, that shit is disgusting. It's like licking a fucking basic TV. Them old tube TVs with like grandma's TV and it's got an inch of dust on it? It's like licking that shit. That's what it tastes like.
That's what it all started. Sparkling seltzers actually just that's probably where COVID came from.
Sparkling seltzers.
Yeah, God, those are gross.
Like, I like my bubbly water, but bubbly seltzer just ugh.
I don't drink anything carbonated. I haven't in years, so
green tea.
People laugh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm drinking. That's what I'm drinking right here.
Yeah, so I drink my little soda water thing here. I got my little thing here. Oh, yeah. It's help.
His little stream, he pumps his bubbles in there.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember this little guy? He's coming to the show too. He'll be there.
That's my boy. He made me hold him and take a photo with him.
Dude, if look for me, my life is simple. The only thing carbonated I drink is beer. Um, that's it, and that's on occasion. Mainly, the occasion is when I'm out on the grill. Um, there's something about cooking on the grill and having a beer in your hand that just go together. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, it
I'll
makes
give you
sense.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink. I don't drink. I grill
You
literally
cook.
every day during the
You
summer. So
cook a
good thing that I don't drink and I'd be hammered every day because I cook every day.
Right.
But I probably can count on one hand how many drinks I have in a year. And it's usually some kind of like fruity concoction. On vacation, I'll drink some kind of fruity girly drink, or I'll have like a Smirnoff like watermelon, something really really masculine.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned cooking because, like you said, I do see you cook a lot, man. Do you mostly grill mostly, or
Um,
I think you're
spring,
also known for having a cookout, aren't you?
well, yeah. My house is like the go to for like barbecues and swimming and stuff. Even when I don't invite people, sometimes I come home and they're here. But they've nicknamed my house because I get talent that sleeps at my house. Sometimes they call me up and they're like, "Hey, I'm coming down from Pennsylvania and I got a 9-hour drive. Can I crash at your house?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Thunder Rosa and Holiday have keys to my house. I mean, so um, but they call my house the Kev Inn.
Ah,
Uh,
that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have a 7 foot pit charcoal grill. I have an outdoor kitchen. I also have a round Weber kettle charcoal grill. I have a smoker outside. I have a wood burning fire pit. I have a propane fire pit. So we do a lot of stuff as far as cooking is concerned in my yard. I barbecue pretty much. I didn't. I went out today for dinner. But usually, like this weather, I'll be grilling from now until probably second week of October when I finally cover everything. And the pool's done in September, and then everything else is covered and thrown in the shed and everything like mid October. And then I do a lot of cast iron cooking when I cook inside.
Wow. But cast iron's an art, man. Because like
Mhm.
I'm a stainless guy. I love stainless steel. I love cooking with stainless steel pots and pans. My wife hates it because she doesn't pay enough attention to it. There's that. That's God's honest truth. So I love it because you got to be quick.
Same,
Yeah,
same.
I mean
Like
the stainless
I
steel.
do the
I
same
have
thing.
stainless steel. I have stainless steel pots and pans, but like when it comes to like cooking of like protein, I usually use like a cast iron. I have
Cast
electric in my
iron.
house because I live near the water and it's mostly electric appliances like stoves and oven. So I like that I could go from the stove top to the oven with the cast iron. There's even times where I've seared up a steak on the cast iron and then taking it and moving the cast iron completely to the fire to the charcoal grill outside. I've done that. I've made potatoes in cast iron on the barbecue outside. I've smoked stuff on the cast iron in the smoker. I've done that.
I think that's
But yeah,
the
when it comes to like
convenience with it. You can use it in almost
yeah,
any for
yeah, you
after
can use it in
or
everything. The only
before.
thing you can't use it for is a glass top electric stove top because it'll scratch the shit out of the surface. They actually make new cast iron pans now that have the round coil on the bottom that gets it hot, but it doesn't. It's not abrasive, so it's a little
Yeah, I
different.
learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
learned that the
people
hard way.
most people do. Most people have learned the hard way that you can't leave water sitting in your cast iron too.
But yeah, I love using cast iron. I've gotten to the sous vide now. That has made things so much easier. Just get it ready and just kind of take my time with it. And once it's done and I'm able to get it up, just go out, double sear it, or even put it in the oven afterwards. It's fantastic. It's been fun to use that. Love the sous vide. Yeah. You should do a cookbook. Ever think about doing a Damage 365 cookbook?
During we're gonna go right back to COVID, but during COVID,
We
when
can't
I was,
escape COVID.
We can't.
My wife was an essential worker too. She still does. She's been there 22 years. So she works for a warehousing company that stores dry, cold, and frozen foods, merchandise. They store for Michael's Foods, White Castle, Panera, and a bunch of other companies. And so she was an essential worker. So not only that, they were also storing for the New Jersey Department of Health. So they had respirators, the gloves, the sanitizer. Like state cops were there every day, making sure things were getting in and out to the hospitals and shit. So she was working, her normal 40 plus hours, and then she would come home and fulfill orders through the computer and stuff like that. I was home, so at that time I was running a finance office. Obviously, nobody gives a shit about their 401k when they're sitting at home doing nothing. So, and mostly we told everybody, do not do anything drastic or make any impulsive decisions with your money during COVID because that's just a terrible idea. So we were shut down. So that's when I decided to do this full time because I was like, hey, if I'm making money sitting at home when nothing is open and I'm making ends meet, then when everything opens, there's no reason why I can't do this full time once I have more opportunities and more places to visit. So getting back to what we were saying, my wife was like, "Oh, why don't you do like like OnlyFans, do like cooking?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea." But then I was like, "Wait, no, maybe that's not a great idea." And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm cooking and I'll sit there and I'll be like rubbing my nose, it's itchy, and then I'm like, touching the steak, and people are gonna be like, what the hell? This guy's wiping his ass, touching the freaking chicken." I'm like, so that you don't think, when you're home doing stuff because you clean, you do everything, but then when people are watching you, they don't want to.
That's still not a bad idea though, or even a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know.
Because I see some of the stuff that you post, man. It looks pretty good. I'm like, I gotta stop by your place sometime.
Yeah. Look, I was a lot of people know like back in 2017 I had the gastric sleeve surgery. So I went from 410 pounds down to 270 pounds. And part of that after that surgery, the post surgery life is protein. You need to eat a lot of protein. You don't eat tiny meals multiple times a day. So I eat a lot of beef, a lot of chicken, a lot of pork, a lot of fish, things like that. But there's only so many times you can eat those same 4 or 5 proteins before you get sick of eating it. So I'm a big flavor guy. So you could come to my house and let's say you were here for 5 days. Not that I would serve steak 5 days in a row, but if I did, that steak would taste different every day for 5 days. Because if not, after the second day, you're like, I don't want to eat steak for another week. This is ridiculous. So I'm a big flavor guy. So I have a lot of dry rubs. I have a lot of marinades. I have a lot of packets of flavor pouches. I make my own when I grow all my own herbs and fruits and vegetables in the yard. I dehydrate a lot of things at the end of the season. I make my own stuff. So, it's just, it keeps food interesting because it gets to the point where you start eating because you feel like you're eating only because you need to eat. Not that you want to eat, you need to eat because you're supposed to eat. And it gets a little boring sometimes. So, it's only so many times you can spin cauliflower into, tasting different. They got cauliflower top, they got cauliflower fries. You can make a cauliflower into a hamburger bun somehow. I mean, I don't know, but it's
You mash cauliflower, rice cauliflower.
yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
Twice baked cauliflower. I mean, there's only so many things you can do with certain things to keep it interesting before it becomes.
Saint, you look disgusted. You okay there, buddy?
It's like, I mean, like, so. All right, let me start over here real quick. I get you on the needing to change the flavors. I 100% agree with that. But you growing and dehydrating and all this shit, your own herbs and seasonings and spices and stuff. Dude, that takes patience. And I don't have patience. The hospital has fucking patience. I do not. That's how I put that. I don't have the patience for that. I would like to try at one point, maybe when I slow down, I would like to try to learn how to do stuff like that. But at this point in my life, like, dude, I'll go to the local tea and spice exchange. I do find good seasonings there. I buy some pre-made stuff from, your local grocery store. I think my favorite marinade period is Allegro. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that shit's awesome. I love that stuff. Or Southern Maryland is famous for two things. And right now they're trying to forget one of them. The one they're trying to forget is 10-ounce Bud Light. They're trying to forget that because Southern Maryland's the only place you can get 10-ounce Budweiser products other than this one weird ass area in Ohio. I think maybe it was PA. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I don't remember. Concussion brain. Yay. And the other thing is they, steamed hard crabs, blue crabs, Chesapeake Bay blue crabs. Some people in Maryland choose to cook with vinegar, which is weird as shit because vinegar's gross. I prefer to cook with beer. And so in my book, I don't have a problem marinating a fine piece of steak or fine piece of meat in a beer and a shot. A shot of liquor and a beer and let it marinate in that for the day. I don't care. It's going to come out tasting good. My kids have never barked about it. The sweeter it is, the more my son loves it. There's that. That's just him. If I cook steak, he doesn't want it. If I cook steak and it gets barbecue sauce on it, he's like, Dad, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm like, well, perfect. Now I figured out how to make food for you. I just put barbecue sauce on his food when I cook it on the grill, and I don't have to hear his ass. So
Sounds like my wife.
I do most of the cooking now, and it's helped a lot. My girlfriend's a power lifter, and she has to change her dietary needs for the protein. So for the extra protein, so I decided to change my diet as well. Since changing into a higher protein diet, I have lost 20 pounds. But I've also, like you, Kevin, like I have to find a way to make it interesting. I have to get some more variety. So, we got the chicken, we got the beef, we got the pork. Then, like, all right, well, what else can I cook with? Oh, we got bison, duck on occasion, because duck is freaking expensive. We got but bison is pretty good. Ostrich meat is pretty good. Elk. So like we try to mix it up a little bit. But the same way with you, like I got rubs. I use pickle juice. Pickle juice is my go-to. But seasoning and pickle juice, depending on the protein.
That's because it's a vinegar base, and that tenderizes meat at a very fast. If you look at any 30, they call it the 30-minute marinade. If you look at any 30-minute marinade, that they tell you to put distilled vinegar in that. I use that, but also you'll never taste it in the steak because if you grill it, the high heat content basically just burns it right off anyway, so you're not gonna feel it.
Yeah, it caramelizes it. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of vinegar. The ongoing joke in my house. I'm Italian, so I grew up eating a lot of pasta and carbohydrates.
That explains so much.
Yeah. So anything with anybody would walk in the house and there'd be a big, huge salad, and the only thing you smell is vinegar. That's all you would smell, vinegar. Red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, didn't matter. And I would always walk in and be like, why does the house smell like douche?
Right.
So I never wanted to use it. But when it comes to a quick marinade, you need the vinegar to tenderize the meat. Or you're going to find something that has a very high acidic lime juice also works very well. Lemon juice.
Yeah, use that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my go-to is usually beer, lime, and vinegar. The same three. Yeah, depending on what I'm cooking. Chicken,
A1 steak sauce, or any of the store brand knockoffs. You pour 2 bottles of A1 in a bag of steak, and you let it sit there for 24 hours. Very high acidic count. That'll tenderize the meat very well, and it'll caramelize very well.
Dude,
I think a good steak, if you cook it right, you don't need no steak sauce.
Peppers was a long way.
That's what I was about to say.
Salt, pepper, garlic, and if you want something, make a chimichurri.
I had neighbors come over last year. We had neighbors come over, and I've always cooked a lot on the grill. Last year, might have been pre-COVID. Who the hell knows? I can't remember. But anyway, they came over and I made steaks, and we're all sitting at the table. All of a sudden, my buddy's wife says, "Oh, hey, can you run next door and go get the steak sauce? You guys don't have steak sauce, do you?" And I'm like, "Who the hell uses steak sauce? Have you tried the steak yet?" Well, no, I don't eat it without steak sauce. I'm like, then you have never had a proper steak in your life, and I apologize for the flaw in your upbringing. You have a nice day. You can get your steak sauce, but please don't leave that shit in my house. Like, it needs to leave with you.
I feel you 100%. I first met my wife in 2009. We met working together, and then we started dating after the store closed. It was a Halloween store, and so we decided gonna have her over for dinner. And I'm like, "Oh, what do you eat?" Back then, she was basically steak, potato, hamburger, chicken. That was it. And I was like, "All right, I'll make you some steak." And I think I made I call them Italian style string beans or fresh string beans with a little olive oil, breadcrumbs, and almonds, and I pan fry them.
Yeah.
So then I find out she don't like string beans, but whatever. So she comes over and she's like, "Oh, do you have ketchup?" And I was like, "I didn't make anything potato." I'm like, "What do you mean ketchup?" She's like, "For the steak." I'm like, "You put ketchup on that steak, you're gonna be eating that outside." I was like, so I told her, I was like, "You're lucky that I gave you a second chance. Now forget it. The girl eats everything, that I cook. Doesn't matter what. She went from eating everything well done to eating everything medium. I'll give her that medium. I'll take it. It's a win. I'm a medium rare guy, but a medium's a win.
Same.
But yeah. So the only thing she doesn't eat is seafood. Straight up, she's a daughter of a fisherman. She doesn't eat seafood. As ironic as that sounds.
Nope, makes sense.
Yeah, I love seafood. Love seafood. So,
I love sushi. Sushi's my go-to.
When she works at night or she goes away on vacation, that's when I binge on like crab legs, shrimp, and anything else that's floating around.
Oh, I've got if you like fried shrimp, I've got my own recipe that I will have to send to you. I'll put my fried shrimp up against most restaurants without question.
Okay. All right.
But
dude, yeah, I just posted my my shrimp pizza the other day.
I saw that.
On that, some people were like, "Ew." Some people were like,
no,
"Oh my god, it was amazing."
Dude.
I was like, "I leftover shrimp cocktail, and I don't want it to go bad, and I can only eat so much of it because it fills you up real quick." So I made a pizza, and I threw like 6 shrimp cocktails on there, and I sprinkled a little cheese on it so at least it stayed on the pizza, it didn't slide off. And I think that was beautiful. It tasted amazing.
Dude, marinara sauce on most things is fantastic. Onion rings and marinara sauce is great.
Best sauce, Don Pepino's. Best pizza sauce. It's changed my life. I've used it in everything. Can? Yes.
That's what I use.
Yeah, they only make it in Jersey, apparently.
Yeah. I use that, and of course, I doctor it up with real seasoning, not that.
Speaking of a fellow Italian, whiskey to marinate meat and or onions. Guinness is good for marinating as well.
Dude,
very nice.
All right. Nice. So check this out. This one kind of threw me off.
Hey,
Jason Maples. He's from Heroes and Legends,
which you're going to be at as well.
Wait,
I will. Heroes and Legends.
Yes. Who are you?
Wayne, Indiana, but Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
And who are you bringing with you?
We will have Thunder Rosa and Jordan Gray.
Fantastic. We're going to see you there because we're going to be there.
Yeah, we got a table for Heroes and Legends ourselves, so that's going to be awesome.
Nice, very nice.
It's a good weekend.
We're gonna myself and my partner Amy. You met Amy. She's like the little short one. We'll be down there probably for about 3 days. So we'll do dinner if you guys got time before you go back.
Well, I'm going and I'm arriving and leaving same day.
Oh, that's it.
You're gonna miss out on the show. The wrestling starts at 7.
I've been to Pigeon Forge once with my wife. I live like 3 hours from there, so and I have work the next day. So, hey, look, I haven't achieved the dream yet. Okay, I haven't achieved the dream. It's still hard times at this level.
Hard times, baby.
It's still hard times at this level. That's where we are.
Call your boss and be like, "Hey, look, I'm having problems with my eye. Seriously, issues with my eyes." And then when they say, "What do you mean you can't see?" Be like, "Yeah, I don't see myself coming in today." Come on.
Well, I mean, I could go ahead and take off for the day. I may end up doing that. But my overall sight has been this: if I can make it to a show and back and make it to work the next day, excellent. I don't need to lose any time at work, and I can save it for when I want to miss work for going to a show, or if I need to leave the state and go further away for a convention or whatever. I try to keep as much of my leave as I can for doing this.
Fine. I can't argue with this responsible fellow.
Uh, It's logic. It's just
It-
logic.
I guess, but if you think about it though, like the Fan Fest starts at 11, right? It goes till 7. Wrestling starts at 7, so you still have that wrestling event. I mean, that's gonna go. Let's say what 2.5 hours.
Probably 3.
All right, so that's not Kevin's schedule. The Kevin Nasty schedule is 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then I go eat, and then I go sightsee, and then I go to bed.
And then I go eat
See,
a little bit. Yeah.
see, I'm talking about. I'm getting there. I'm leaving before it starts. I'm leaving somewhere around 7:30, so I can get back home by midnight to go my happy ass to work the next morning. And I get up at 5 to go to work. So, um, that sounds like a reasonable request.
Jason's like nasty schedule.
Dude, Jason still needs to get
knows
on
my-
here.
Yeah, he does.
He knows my schedule. He knows how I am. Like I'll literally, and I always forget. Like that's why when you said 11 o'clock, I'm like, okay. I always forget what the damn times of the shows are. So I'll literally will hit him up the night before. I'm like, what time am I going to be there? And he was like, oh, I'll be there for 11. You know, we open the gates like 11:30 for the VIPs, 12 o'clock general admission, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, and it runs all night. I'm like, not for me, don't. I'm like, my ass is not doing that for 8 hours, for 9-10 hours. I'm like, no, freaking no. I have a limited attention span when it comes to wrestling, despite working in the wrestling industry.
True.
Wow.
True. It's funny. The after party is great. Heroes and Legends after party is a lot of fun.
My after party last year, if I went last year, was going to the Titanic Museum. I mean, that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I'm a big Titanic buff. I had so much fun, and then I visited like 3 Christmas stores, which was also great. So yeah, I had fun, but I'm gonna stay an extra day. I left the next morning, so I'm gonna actually we're gonna stay an extra day.
I think we
Okay.
may have to end up doing the same thing because there's like so much we want to do.
Dude, that strip is I could not believe it. When we drove in, I was like, dude, what are we on 192 in Kissimmee, Florida? I'm like, what the hell is all this crap? I'm like, I've never seen so much shit. I only thought there was a Hard Rock Cafe there. And then I just started seeing all this lights like it was Vegas. And I'm like, wow, like we really need to come here for more than one day.
Yeah, we went and stayed at a resort for a weekend. Just impromptu post COVID or during COVID trip. Actually, we got great rates because nobody else was there. So it was like right after they opened up the stores, you could actually shop again. So drop down the hole and you pass the one steakhouse on the right. I can't think of the name of the place. Somebody on the Alamo, maybe? I think it was the Alamo Steakhouse. You pass that, hook the right, about a mile up, turn right, and then you go up this damn mountain. They tell you not to leave any food in your car because of the bears and shit. And then they also tell you, please don't throw cigarettes. We just got the fire put out over here. So that legitimately, there was still smoldering shit when we got there. It was wild. From when like
Jersey right now.
when Dollywood burned down or whatever, parts of Dollywood was taken out, whatever. Anyway, that thing happened. That whole region was just crazy. We walked for God knows how long and went to, I don't remember how many stores because I other than when I'm paid to deal with people, I'm not a people person. I have discovered that I'm not even really a person. I'm not sure what I am. I'm just kind
He's
of
a meat-
here.
You're just a meat popsicle.
I'm just a being here. when I'm paid to deal with people at the wrestling show, fucking hey, let's go. That's like the greatest thing ever. That's an escape. It's like a good drug. But when I'm at work, paid to deal with people, okay, I can get through this for 8 hours. Beyond that, this is fine. Beyond that, leave my ass alone. Let me go sit outside in the woods somewhere.
We just chill, cook,
Yeah.
do something. Well, speaking of shows, this is what we're talking about. I was hoping to. Here we go. Can we do this? No.
No, because it's an overlay, not a.
Ah, man, you suck. Anyways, this is what we're talking about. Heroes and Legends at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. All three of us are going to be there. It's going to be a good time. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. Good times. Anything else you want to plug in, Kevin, since you're still here?
Yeah, let me plug a couple things. We're gonna do, of course, the most upcoming event for us is May 6th in North Jersey. We're doing 80s Wrestling Con, courtesy of Tommy Fierro and the Wrestling Collector Store. We are bringing in former WWF ring announcer Mike McGurk. She will be with us. If anybody who's not familiar with Mike McGurk, she was one of the only female ring announcers throughout the 80s, and she's also featured in the coin op video game WrestleFest that was released in 1989 and re-released in 91. She is the ring announcer in that game. And the following weekend, as you guys showed, we'll be at Heroes and Legends in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We're bringing in current AEW superstar Linda Rosa, along with the only female Grand Slam champion in the history of Impact Knockouts division, Jordan Grace. She will be with us, also fresh off her bodybuilding competition win. So we're happy to see her as well. And 2 weeks later, May 20th, we'll be at the Highline Arena in Aberdeen, New Jersey with Wrath of the Goddesses, courtesy of Titan Championship Wrestling and Goddesses of War Wrestling. Some of the talent that's going to be on that show, if you allow. We have 6 matches. We have the Amazonian Amanda Fuentes, who will also be at Heroes and Legends. She's defending the Funhouse Women's Championship against Deanna Diaz in her debut. We have Becca Wiley coming off her first ever singles win. She'll be trying to make that 2 in a row against the all-natural Ashley. We have one half of the Funhouse Women's Tag Team Champions, Gabby Gilbert, taking on newcomer Raina Black. We have one of the original goddesses, Gabby Ortiz, taking on Valerie Berman. We have Women of Wrestling's Holly Hood Haley J taking on Skylar Gray. And in our main event, we have our undisputed champion, Marie Valdomina, taking on former NXT star Mila Moore. And we'll also have a guest appearance by indie star who was featured on AEW Dark a couple of times, courtesy of DMZ Promotions, Jasmine Allure. So we have a good show. Gates open at 2:30. First bell is at 3 o'clock. Highline Arena in Aberdeen, New Jersey. That's what we got going on for May. So, 3 out of the 4 weekends, I'm going to be a little swamped. But for the first time, I will not be part of the Baltimore Celeb Fest in Maryland because it's the same weekend as the Goddesses show, and I'm doing traveling 2 weekends in a row prior to that. So it's a little much mentally and physically, and also on my vehicle. So we're going to skip this month's May's Select Fest, but we will be doing the. I think he's got another one in like September or October or something. But we'll be doing that show. So that's what we got going on in May, guys, and I appreciate you giving me the time. Check out Titan Championship Wrestling to get tickets for Titan and Goddesses at Titan-championshipwrestling.com. You can visit my site at D365promotions.com. Goddesses is on social media at TCW.goddesses on Facebook, Instagram, TCW_goddesses on Twitter because they don't let you use the damn dot. And I am on all social media things. I have a link tree or one of those related link thingies on my Facebook profile, facebook.com/NASTA, NASDA. And if you can't remember that, just remember it's a variation of the same letters that make up the words Satan and Santa.
That's awesome. No,
Satan and Santa.
so while you were talking about the shows, David actually went and put the ticket purchasing links and everything in our comments section. So everywhere that this show is streamed to, other than the Roku because it's not interactive there, um, every place there or all these other social media venues all got all the links just dropped on them.
Yep.
So
Yep. They got
anybody
your, 365.
anybody watching anywhere they were can now just go click and
Yep.
find you. So
Fantastic. Yeah, I got the ticket links for the upcoming shows. Titan Championship Wrestling. I got your Damage 365, and I got your All My Links 365 promotions.
And if you guys can't make the show and you still want to watch it, usually within about 72 hours, the show will be uploaded to MobFi TV. That's MOBFITV.com. We're exclusive to them, so all our wrestling content is on that page for Titan and Goddesses. And like I said about Titan Enterprises, not to release anything that I'm not supposed to, but there are going to be some huge things coming as far as streaming and other things related. So some big news coming on. So just keep your ears and your eyes out for Titan Championship Wrestling, Goddesses of War Wrestling, and of course D365promotions.com, where we pretty much share everything that's going on with Goddesses and my company and everything that I'm going to be doing this year because I'm booked solid all the way up to October.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And you'll see me there. I think you'll
Yep.
see me for most of the ones in May because you're nearby. You're not that far away. So Lorenzo and I will be there.
Yeah, I mean, Lorenzo can buy me an unsweetened iced tea, no lemon. Thank you.
unsweetened iced tea, no lemon.
No lemon.
Yeah, no lemon.
No lemon.
So
All right.
dirt water, got it, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Dirt
Yeah,
water.
dirt
But I
water.
do put 2 Splendor in there, so it's sweet dirt water.
Oh God, that
Sweet.
didn't help your cause, my friend. That didn't help your cause at
I
all.
don't since the surgery, I can't drink carbonated beverage. So
Well, I get that. At least something like use a finer tea, my friend. Use like
No, mud
an
water.
Earl Grey black, like an Earl Grey black tea would be fantastic.
Oh,
Even without sugar, that's delicious.
I'm sorry, I'm not that bougie. Lifting goes a long way, man.
I'm not. Fuck. Yeah, I know lifting goes a long way. See, but I mean,
That's
damn.
worse, baby.
Or or as they used to laugh at me when I used to do my virtual signings and stuff, and then I would always be on there with my my Brenner, my diet citrus green tea from the tea company Benner from your local Aldi supermarket.
I can't do anything that says diet on it. If I do, I get a massive headache, and I already have that problem. So
It's the aspartame.
It's the aspartame.
exactly. Yeah. Well, and there's this other thing, man. Aspartame rots your brain. I say that because I have met people that are up there in age who drank diet their entire life, and you can freaking tell. It's like, dude, this is not normal. There's no way.
I already told my wife when I hit a certain age, just put me in a chair in the backyard and I'll just watch the garden grow. I'm good.
Right.
Huh.
I
Was that coming in today?
I mean, I would much rather at that point. I would just much rather go out like Tyrion Lannister wanted to go out. I'm awful. It's okay.
My end of life plan is going to be put like in a freaking in a red Folgers can and then sprinkled like on the Jersey Shore somewhere.
Well, I mean, that's cool. And Folgers is great because I love Folgers coffee.
I don't
But-
drink coffee, but that's what I grew up smelling every Sunday morning.
Why Sunday? I smell coffee daily. I don't know.
Because I was out of the house before everybody for school back in the day. But on Sunday,
Okay.
being an Italian family, everybody and their mother would be in my kitchen yelling and screaming at each other about whose job sucks more over the smell of coffee and usually a couple boxes of Enterman donut.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, So you want to be sprinkled across the Jersey Shore. I want to be cremated. And you remember the Stone Cold beer truck segment? Yeah, I want somebody to pour my ashes when that bitch is shooting out and just spray me into the salt water somewhere. I'm fine. As long as it's not a creek. Well, no, creek will work. But it just don't make it a lake or a pond. Put me in the ocean where I belong.
I don't want to be just floating near a rock.
Yeah, I don't want to just sit in one spot. That's no bueno. Put me out in the ocean.
Next, no, yeah. Note
Yeah.
to self: make a living will.
Dude, mine has been written. Mine has been written since I left Maryland. Everybody had instructions the moment I left Maryland. Like, here's the rules. If I die before any of you, this is what I want done. Thank you.
I had to write one when I had the surgery. That was one of the things that I had to write just in case something happened during surgery. I had to write a will, and but also, it's a little dark to be talking about this, but an in living will, you also want to try to write because it lets people know exactly what you want to happen if you're put on a respirator or it's the only thing keeping you alive and things like that. You never want to put that decision in someone else's hand because they got to live with that for the rest of their life. A big question mark if they did the right thing.
Right.
True.
See, on my, I've been in IT or some form of that for a long time. So I wrote on mine, just unplug me and plug me back in, see if it works.
Control alternate delete.
Control.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think those machines don't have Control Alt Delete on them, but I mean, if they did, that would work
The
too.
machine. If I am still alive when it boots back up, then we're good.
Right.
Funny. That's
But-
funny and dark. I like it.
Hey, if you can't, people don't realize this.
I thought you
And
were about to say if you can't beat them, join.
no, I was gonna say something worse than that, but what I will say is this: what people fail to realize is death is easy, life is hard. Because once you're dead, you're dead. You don't know. You don't know it. You yourself don't realize it. It's everybody else who is alive. So that's their life that's now impacted by the loss of yours. Death is easy. Life is hard. That's how I put it.
always said if life isn't hard, then you're not living it correct. Because nobody's life should come easy. Because if your life comes that easy, then you're not living it to the fullest because you're not pushing your boundaries.
True.
I like that one too.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it right there. Yeah, that's a good
Well,
life lesson. Kevin,
That's a good way to end his segment because we got to do our rundown still.
We got to.
Guys, thank you very much. Much appreciated. See you in 3 weeks or so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see you in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, sir.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. So, note to self: we got to get Jason Maples on here within the next 3 weeks because we got to have him on before that thing. So we definitely want to do that. Matter of fact, let me look at the calendar. I actually like next week for that. We need to get with Maples. Next week's a good one for that. I really think so. I really think next week is a great week for that. We need to get with him on this.
We'll talk about it.
But anyway, man, look. So let's talk about this weekend because PCW returns this weekend with Super Smash Brawl. This is going to be in Camden, South Carolina. You can get your tickets online. VIPs get in early. General admission gets in a half hour later. Bell time 7:00. If you don't know about PCW, you're under a rock. Go check them out. Then we've got ICE presents Tag Not It. That's April 15th. Doors at 6:30. Showtime 7. That's in Lumberton, North Carolina. Those shows are so far apart in distance. I'm traveling from here to go to ICE. I can't wait to meet everybody involved with this one. It looks like it's going to be a hell of a card. Look at some of these tag teams: Dynasty, Radical City Kings, Gemstone, and Codename Flex.
Blood Money.
Blood Money. I don't know those guys, but I knew of some of the other ones.
And
Like I
then
say,
you have the king defending his title against his former protege, his former student, former brother in arms. So that's going to be a hell of a matchup. Yeah,
it's
don't
gonna
want to miss
be
on that.
it's gonna be awesome. Now, this is saying it's at the Priscilla King Arena. Is this still where we're going to be?
At Lumberton, North Carolina. Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is at the King Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other poster, one of them, not poster.
Lumberton, North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, they all say that. But there was one thing that said it was at a flea market or something.
Yeah,
So
it's at the Ring Wars. I believe it's going to be at the Ring Wars, Carolina. Yeah, so that'll be that's where it's going
that's
to be. It's in Lumberton.
that's the King
Same place.
Arena. Okay, that's
Yeah.
it. That is King Arena. Good. Then I'm good to go with that because I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, which address do I gotta drive to? Because I'm trying to plan out, dude. I've got to plan this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm planning my full itinerary for time and travel tomorrow. So, and we've got Casino Night coming up next Friday, April the 21st. That's going to be at Lenny Boy Brewing. XWW brings you Casino Night,
Casino
a
Night.
TV taping.
Night of high rollers and high action, and you don't want to miss out. It's going to be fantastic. Lenny Boy is a great venue, and it's just going to be another wild night. Those XWW shows are always high gear,
100%. Not only that, free admission and food and drink specials. It's going to be a badass time. So we definitely need to get out there for that one.
I call that a date night. If you ask me.
It wasn't. Let me rephrase that. From my experience, it was not a date night. But we went with 3 kids, so 2 of which were mine. So
I'm giving out relationship advice. If you're looking for a date night, something to do with your significant other, whoever they may be, take them to a wrestling show. It's good times. Good times.
and if it's not a good time, you can have enough to drink to make it a good time.
That too.
Fair enough. But we do not condone drinking and driving, so get your ass an Uber or hire a DD. This is how we do things. But, later on in April, we've got Pro Wrestling Union coming up with their junior heavyweight championship tournament. Now, there are 5 matches that I know have been set up for this. So there's 4 qualifying matches and 1 match in the end to determine who the junior heavyweight champion is. What else is on that show has yet to be announced. We will get that on the 27th. The final, every detail will be released for that show on the 27th. So be sure you watch and hear for that one.
Then we have Firestar Pro Wrestling comes back with Spring Break Showdown. It's going to be a hell of a night. Tons of great matches. We actually we'll get closer to that card. We actually have some of those matches already, but we'll give our breakdown closer to that show date. But if you still buying your tickets at firestarpro.eventbrite.com and you use the promo code, make sure you use promo code Estacado to save some money. Saves 20% off of these ticket sales for this show and any and all future Firestar Pro Wrestling shows and events. That's right. Get your promo code, use the last name Estacado, save some money on that tickets for that show.
Fantastic. The very next day, Wrestle Revolution 2023, XWW, right back there in Monroe at the National Guard Armory. Guys, this show starts at 4:30 p.m. So it's a nice late afternoon show. You can still get home in plenty of time to go do what you want to do that night and make it to work the next day. This show is going to be a hit. You don't believe me? Look at the beef that's going to be running the main event for that night. You've got Madman Fulton. You've got Psycho Boy Fodder. And you got the big man on campus, TJ Boss.
Boss.
Good grief. That is going to be a slugfest.
Mm-hmm. Cinco de Mayo at the Wax Hall Tap House Come out. You have wrestling, drinks, and it's another XWW show you don't want to miss out. They've been doing a great job with these bar shows. This is definitely one you don't want to miss out. This is also a live TV taping, so get there. Guess what? Free admission. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, free admission. Just come on in, enjoy, get yourself a good spot, get yourself your drinky drink and your snacky poo poos, and get ready for a good night. Doors open at 6:30, and that'll be Wax Hall in North Carolina. Why are you laughing? What? Was it something I said?
Yeah, it's definitely fucking something you said. Oh my god. Get yourself a drinky drink and a snacky poo poo. What the fuck? Like, bro.
Hey, you popped.
I don't know if I popped or an artery popped. I may have had an aneurysm.
Let me share something real quick. I'm just sharing this for tomorrow because this is for mañana. Presentando para mañana.
There's something tomorrow now?
Yeah. Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Friday, April 14th. Future Stars of AML is back, and they have a dope show. A great card right now. Let me show off a little bit. We got All Worm No Soul going one-on-one with the Zenith, TDT, and JR Miller. We have Oliver Sawyer, Christopher Prince, JJ Cerna going one-on-one in a triple threat match. David Parrish versus Duke O'Connor. Logan Quindell making his rounds, going one-on-one against Omar Amir. And JAC, the Future Stars champion, defending his title against Diego Hill. These are some of the matches that are going to be shown here for AML, Future Stars AML tomorrow night. You don't want to miss out on that.
Man, you could have sent me that, and I could have had it loaded for us, but I
know.
didn't know.
I know. It just things happened, things occurred.
I didn't know. You gotta tell me what the deal is with the AMLs. We gotta be on the same page. Yep. All right. Now, also coming up on May the 6th, we got to go over a couple of things. There's a bunch of shows happening.
Ooh.
Heroes 2 Legends Ministries returns. They will have their show Wrestling with Life Challenges 2. That's Saturday, May the 6th. And you don't know what you're getting? Check this out. You got Hoss Haygood. You got Alexander Koloff, JD Drake, Randy Wayne. You've got the Rez Dogs, Brittany Jade, Ken Magnum, Cooper Housley, Stuart Snodgrass. It is all kinds of talent on one card. It's going to be an awesome show. I can't wait for that.
A little bit for everything, for a little bit for everybody. It's going to be fantastic.
Titan Wrestling Society. I am aware that the logo says Southside, but it's Titan Wrestling Society. Also, it has a show coming up on May the 6th. When I get the information for it, I will be dropping it here. This card is subject to change. It's actually out of date because Marcus Erics will be taking on Daven and Saint. That's High Velocity Wrestling Showdown Series. That's May 6th at Silverados. There's 4 wrestling shows going on the same day, and if you put them in a straight line, they're about 4 hours apart from Charlotte to Silva.
Welcome to North Carolina wrestling.
It's wild, but I think it's awesome. It's going to be a good time. You know what else is going to be a good time? And we're going to be there. Hey, man, we need that link. Can you get that link up for us? The ticket purchasing link for Heroes and Legends. Heroes and Legends 19 is coming. This is the King of the Mountain, Evergreen Smoky Mountain Lodge and Convention Center. We will be there. We will have a table. Come by, hang out, say, hey, 410 Parkway, Pigeon Forge. Noon to 7 for the Fan Fest. Bell time starts at 7 p.m. Heroes and Legends Wrestling.com. You can save yourself some money by using promo code WIRE, WIRE, when you purchase your ticket. So go ahead, get yourself a ticket, save yourself some money, use that promo code you just got from us.
That's right. WIRE, WIRE, like that great show, The Wire.
I didn't like that show. It was based in Baltimore. More like The Wrestling Wire, that great show that comes on Sundays. That's right here. This one's all you.
UPW, their inaugural show, Unleashed. It's going to be a fantastic show. Look at the lineup. You have Cinta de Oro, probably known as Sin Cara, going one-on-one against Psycho Fado. You have Bojack. You have Sean Cruz. Lodi's going to be there. Gabriel Kai, Steve Meeks. You have a bunch of other guys that I know from Firestar there. Alex Evans. It's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss out. It's their first show. It's going to be June 3rd. You can get tickets are available at the site. Go to upwunleashed.eventbrite.com. We do have a promo code. And again, promo code. If you use promo code Estacado, save some money. That's right. Use the Estacado last name. Save some money on some tickets. Don't miss out. And that's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, June 3rd. Don't want to miss out on that.
We had a comment come in momentarily ago. Amanda Fuentes chimed in. She said, NASTA. So, I mean, I guess she wasn't excited that NASTA was on here. I don't know. It's hard to say.
This is a war, too. That's funny.
Oh, here we go. So, check this out. I am going to grab another picture just because it is that awesome. But we got to talk about the David Cody Memorial.
Oh,
We've got to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at some of the names on this poster here. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. There's two posters. Look at some of the other names on this poster. There are things. There are things in the works. And here, above all else, this is very important. The David Cody Memorial ringside is sold out. General admission, second and third rows are available. VIP is sold out.
Wow.
Guys, don't miss your chance. Don't miss your chance on that one. And you don't. I'm telling you what I know. You don't want to miss your chance for this show. They have not officially announced any of the matches on the AWL page yet. So,
but once
unfortunately, we get it, we will go over that. Now, here's the kicker. As we know, tomorrow's show was canceled due to rain. It was the first time they've had a show canceled. 7 shows have run at the Welford Pavilion. 1 show has been canceled due to weather. That ain't bad odds. That's really good odds. So we are working to get everything we can. I'm actually going to drop the link now. If you want to get your tickets to the David Cody Memorial, that link. Dude, I absolutely hate this sometimes. You can't get shit to work off of Facebook. No, Facebook looks like ass. It works like crap sometimes, dude. I'm serious. I look. Tickets at like seriously, this is what you have to do because it won't copy a freaking link over. Give me a break. You got to do this because you can't copy a link from Facebook. How dumb you got to be for Facebook to work proper. It's ridiculous.
Tell me how you really feel.
I look, I work on computers and work with computers all day. So when things are supposed to work properly, I need them to work properly and efficiently. When you can't copy a damn link, whether you're using the keyboard to do it with Control V or no, Control C, or you're using the damn mouse to highlight the shit and you can't make it do it, it's like, dude, you don't need to be a clicky button every time. You could just make the link copyable. It would be that much more better for everybody involved. You know, it's kind of like deodorant. It's a great thing for everybody else around you, too, if you use it. Just like washing your gear and washing your ass and brushing your teeth. It's not just good for you. It's good for those around.
For everyone. All right.
So,
I'll give you that.
You see my point. My point was made, sir.
All right.
But
what else we got? Is that it?
What else do we got? No, we have two more things that we're going to bring up. Just two more. Heatwave is coming. Pro Wrestling Union returns June the 10th with Heatwave. More to be announced on that. But
Oh, I was
check
just about to
this
drop that too.
out. Check
Good
this
old
out.
Dr. Tom.
Dr. Tom Pritchard will be in the house May 27th, live at the Welford Pavilion. This is awesome. I am excited. I'm not attending this seminar. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm going to find a way there. I would hate to pay $35 to sit on my ass and not learn anything about wrestling because I'm not a wrestler. But I wouldn't mind spending $35 just to hear this man speak. So,
Wealth of knowledge. Let me tell you. I've been to a couple of his seminars. I've seen him at Monster Factory. I've seen him at Heroes of Legends. I see him. I lost count of other places, but I've seen him. I've talked to him. I picked his brain. He's a wealth of information. I was about to say, but it's already here. From Ring Fundamentals, he'll evaluate your matches. Great promo. And I did his promo seminar at Heroes and Legends. Fantastic work. Great guy to learn from. And he'll always give you a nugget of knowledge every single time you see him. And he'll always elevate you even more with whatever you need. Fantastic. Yeah.
Right. And I am just stoked for this. I think it's going to be an excellent opportunity for anybody and everybody, any level in this game. You really want to. I hear so many people say, "I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that." Put your money where your fucking mouth is. There's your answer. If you really want to do this as bad as you claim you want to do this, then pay the money to go learn from one of the best. You don't believe me? Why don't you go check the list of champions that come out of his and Jacob Pritchard Wrestling Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Or just turn on your TV on Monday and you'll see a handful. Or turn on your TV on Tuesday or you'll see a handful. Or turn on your TV on Wednesday and you'll see a handful. Or turn on your TV on Thursday and you'll see a handful. Friday you'll see a handful. When are people that didn't go through and learn from them not on television?
Exactly.
That's the point.
This is an investment, if you ask me.
And if you're smart enough, this is the other big trick here, guys. If you're smart enough, you realize that wrestling's a business and you can use this as a write-off. Print your receipt, save your receipt. It's a write-off. You get this back at tax time. And not only that, but you can go to this seminar, leave it at 5, get to your wrestling gig by 6 or 7, impress them with your fancy new stuff you learned from Dr. Tom, and then charge more money. Like, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Maybe I'm just too logical for things. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Daven, I don't know. Can you help me? I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you, but
I don't either.
It all makes sense. A great man once said, $40 is $40, but make it make sense.
I'm trying to squeeze dollars out of dimes, but I ain't got no sense. So that's kind of where we are.
Wow.
Yep. That's how we end this. Anyway, guys, we have been on for over almost 2.5 hours at this point. Thank you all for sticking with it. Thank you for the shares. Shout out to Ryan Bracken. This cat went and dropped this video on a bunch of Facebook pages. I have no idea who he is, but I just say, hey, man, saw you shared it. Thanks. And
fantastic. I appreciate it, Bracken. I know who you are. Yeah. I appreciate that, homie.
You know who that is? Cool.
Yeah, he's dropping some likes, dropping some shares. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
I had no idea. So I just wanted to say I appreciate that. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who commented earlier in the day. Once again, unfortunate, very unfortunate that the show tomorrow ended up having to be canceled. AWL will return, and AWL will continue to stomp a mud hole in the asses of any haters or doubters. Promise you, um, it's been funny to watch so far. Um, to the people who said an indie show with Flash, you wish your venue looked like this. So
Mira que nice. Mira que
I,
nice.
I'm sorry, y'all. They wish shit looked that good, but nah, they're gonna continue to insult my guy. It's okay. Um,
Hey, shit happens. You know what they say? Cars subject to change. Stuff happens. It's
yeah,
at least he did the right thing. He's like, hey, you can use your ticket for the next show. That was very admirable of him. It worked out, and it worked out long run.
yeah, it definitely did, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for
Thank
being
you.
here. We greatly appreciate it. David, thank you for coming through tonight, man. I'm glad you're having a better night this evening than you did last.
I appreciate it. Things happen. You know
And
what happened. Life happens.
hey, card subject to change. That's life. Our life literally is card subject to change. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank y'all for tuning in. We are out of here, and we will see
We'll
you
see you at the
at the
Indies.
Indies.